vacation, and I said, I got to get me some coral calcium pills. And so I went around there where the vitamins were, checked them all out, and that lady is standing there. She said, "Can I help you?" I said, "You work here?" She said, "No, ma'am, but I can help you." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm looking for coral calcium." She said, "I seen that right down there." I said, "Okay." So I went down there, and I got me 2 bottles, not 1, but I got 2. And she said, "Now tell me what it was for." I said, "Well, a week ago, I wasn't even hardly able to get out of my bed." I says, "And now," I said, "I can walk good." I said, "But if I do it without them calcium and without the good Lord helping me, I can never make it." And so I left there, and she said, "You know what? I think I'll buy me a bottle." She said, "You're a good woman." Said, "After all, you'd make a good salesman too." I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "God bless you." So I left there and went to Goodwill. And I went in there at Goodwill, was looking around, and I noticed this colored lady over in this basket going through it. And I thought, well, what's she digging for? So I went over and I said, "Can I ask you what you're digging for?" She looked at me. She says, "Yeah, I'm looking for painting holes." I says, "Have they got any in there?" She said, "Oh yeah, got a lot of them. Come on over here." So I went over there, and me and her both was going through it, you know. And I looked there, I said, "Are you a Christian?" She said, "Why, you better believe I am." And I says, she said, "And I can tell you exactly what you are." And I said, "What's that?" She said, "You're a minister, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I am. I'm a minister for the Lord, witness for the Lord." She said, "That's good." And I told her, I says, "Well," I said, "I've had 24 mini strokes, 2 majors, and my son, the Lord the Lord healed his body. They give him just a week to live, but God healed him." So then I went on down around the corner, and there was a man looking at shirts, and he held that shirt up and looked at it, and I said, "Boy, that looked good on you." I said, "It'd go good with your complexion." He said, "You think so?" I said, "Well, I know so." And he said, "Well, I think I'll just buy it." And he says, I said, "Do you go anywhere to church?" And he said, "No." I says, "Do you know Jesus?" He said, "Yeah." I says, "Well," I said, "if you want to go to church," I said, "I go to Bradenton Gospel Tabernacle. Brother Marlowe is our pastor, and we'd love to have you anytime you want to come." And I said, "May God bless you." And I went on down a little further. I was looking for picture frames, and I was looking along there and checking things out, and this guy was over down from me, and he was checking things out. And he kept looking at me. And then he turned his head and he looked at me again. I thought, was something wrong with me or what? So I looked at him, I said, "Is something wrong with me?" He says, "No, ma'am, I don't see nothing wrong with you." He says, "I enjoyed you talking to that man up there, though." He said, "You're a pleasant lady." I said, "Well, I try to be to everybody." And he said, "Are you a minister?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he says, "You know," he said, "you're out witnessing for the Lord." And he said, "How many people do you see out here doing this?" And I told him, I said, "Well, you know," I said, "I have been a sick woman." And I said, "God brought me off my deathbed." And I said, "I thank God for that. And I thank God for what he's doing for me. And Brother Marlowe, I'm praying that God will lead me to a church that is starting out where they need help. Because there's a lot of churches that really needs help." And so we stood there and talked for a good while. And I said, "Why'd you keep looking at me?" He said, "I had to get the courage up to ask you something." And I said, "Well, that's okay." I said, "Well, I go to Bradenton Gospel Tabernacle." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I know where that's at." And I said, "Well, come and visit us and be with us." So I enjoyed my whole week.
Oh, praise God.